So what does this do, this lack of compassion? Well, it makes people feel ripped off and unhappy and unsafe. Security is one of the most important things for people. They need to know they're in a secure place. But life is more and more precarious. In the 1950s, before the McCarthy era and at the McCarthy era, 35% of Americans were unionized, where they couldn't be fired for nothing, where they couldn't be overlooked for promotions without litigating it and pushing it, where they had some kind of safety on the job. Now there's only 12% that have that safety. That's why more and more people are unionizing, because they're realizing we're in a class society. The employer class just cares about money. You're in the employee class. You better band together because together you have power. And alone, you don't. And so that is a factor. In addition, 18% of Americans are homeless. I mean, that sounds like too many, but if you look it up on Google, that's what it says. And many more pay more than a third of their income on rent because their landlords, if they raise the rent, they can make more money. And what is someone's security? And the fact that they've lived and paid in that apartment for many years, what does that count up against more money for you? And money is prestige and power in this capitalist society. People need security. And since 18% of Americans are homeless, that's very insecure. And since people are paying more than a third of their income for rent, that's insecure. The threat of homelessness hovers. You know, I saw the pictures of children who are homeless. And the way kids usually make a picture is they have a flat line, which is the ground, if they're about 8 years old. Then they make a house on that flat ground. They have a tree on that line in the ground and maybe some birds, little V's in the sky. But homeless children don't. The house is in the air. The tree is in the air. There's nothing that's stable in their lives. And that's what's happening to more and more Americans. Because if they're not homeless, there's the threat of homelessness. As I've said before, there is no city, state, or county in the whole United States where two people making minimum wage could afford a two-bedroom apartment. Wow. And so people are frightened and insecure. That's one of the reasons they buy guns, even though guns lead to death, as I've talked about before. And so we have a real problem here. We have a problem on every level of basic stability and mental health.